Funding support for Sazón de Illinois is provided by Joseph and Elizabeth Walder Charitable Fund and generous Chicagoans like you.
Portage Park on the northwest side of Chicago is packed with classic Chicago-style bungalows and two flats. The neighborhood is named for its picturesque park, which is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. It hosted the Pan American Games in 1959 and the U.S. Olympic swimming trials in 1972. Portage Park is also known for its Six Corners outdoor shopping district, centered at the intersection of Irving Park Road, Cicero Avenue, and the diagonal Milwaukee Avenue.
That's where you will find Peru Criollo, with a menu rich with influences by the indigenous population and immigrants from Europe, Asia, and Africa. Hi, I'm Hugo Balta, publisher of Illinois Latino News, and your host for this edition of Sazón de Illinois. Let's explore how climate, geography, culture, and ethnic mix have determined the variety of Peruvian cuisine.
Located at 3938 North Cicero Avenue, Peru Criollo not only represents the land de los Incas with authentic cuisine, but also with the many colorful murals adorning the restaurant walls. We had a chance to speak with executive chef owner Diane Oxas about the art on the walls and the plates.
Peruvian food is none like any other. As a matter of fact, it's been, it's Spanish, it's Chinese, Japanese, it's Italian, Afro-Latino. All of these things are an infusion that happened within a span of 500 years. So when someone says, oh, you got a fusion restaurant, that's great. But this has been in the making for many, many, many years. And that, I feel, is the difference.
Peru is a diverse country, reflected in its food not just by its variety of ethnic mixes, but also by its climate. The four traditional staples of Peruvian cuisine are corn, potatoes, and other tubers. A Chicago native, Chef Oxas is the daughter of Puerto Rican and Peruvian parents. She credits her Peruvian father for sparking her interest in Peruvian cuisine and for her introducing new flavors to Portage Park, where she lived most of her teenage years.
I felt that, there's not a lot of Peruvian restaurants in Chicago. I mean, there is, but there really isn't. We always see a hot dog stand in every corner, but you really don't see a lot of Peruvian restaurants. And I felt like this neighborhood should have that culture experience. And that's why we chose this location. We were received very well. The community here is amazing. They are so into trying new things and being, exploring new flavors. So that to me was really great that they would welcome us with open arms. Lomo saltado is my go-to. It's what I've always eaten as a child. So it's nostalgic in that sense. But it's like, that's that soul food, that comforting food that you always go back to. That is my favorite dish.
We are now at Peru Criollo's kitchen, where you're going to talk to us and show us how to cook one of the most popular dishes here, and really one of the most popular dishes in Peruvian cuisine, lomo saltado. Walk us through how you prepare this dish.
Great, let's get started. So we have our flank steak. We use a flank steak. It's a really good type of meat because it has marbling and it's a really good stir fry meat. So right now what we're going to be doing is seasoning our meat. Mm-hmm. We season it with salt and pepper, a little soy sauce, some garlic paste.
Mm-hmm.
And usually I just, make sure that it's well combined, well marinated here. This is how we start it. And then we come to our hot wok, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Our hot wok, we're going to be adding some oil. And you can use canola oil is good. We want to make sure that you have a really good hot pan so that you can get a sear. Again, this is stir fry, so it's all about fast cooking, fast.
Now you're using a wok, you use soy sauce. Tell us about, we've talked a lot about Peruvian food is fusion food.
Yeah.
Tell us about the background of this particular dish and the fusion that goes into lomo saltado.
Sure. So, lomo saltado is, part of a chifa style dish in Peru. It is Chinese inspired, but then, as Peruvians and the mountains, Andes, we do add potato to this dish. So a lot of stir fries don't have potato, but in this instance, it does have potato. So right now what we're going to do is try to sear our lomo and give it a good sear, and then we'll do a flambe afterwards. But yeah, lomo saltado is that, where it is chifa style. It is a mainstream dish that is in Lima, Peru, and it's been part of our culture for a very long time. The only difference is that we do add potato to it, so that makes it more Peruvian.
Now you said this is one of the most popular dishes here in Peru Criollo. On a typical weekend,
Yeah.
how many of these dishes are you cooking up?
Oh my gosh, we should have a bell. How many times? Because that bell would be ringing all the time. I don't know. We make a lot of lomo saltados. It's a go-to dish. Everyone feels comfortable eating lomo saltado. It's just like, comfort food. It's an amazing dish. So we're gonna put some fries, and these are home cut fries, none of the frozen stuff. So now we're ready to flambe. And the good thing about this is that you have to have that fire taste really is what makes a lomo. It's what makes any stir fry. We're gonna add some red onions. We're gonna let that cook for just a minute or so. We do want to add our this is where the Latin part comes in. It's our demi-glace. So we use demi-glace. It's like a lomo sauce. So we make this ahead of time. So we're gonna let that do its thing. At this point, we do want to use some vinegar. We do want to use good old beer. Pabst Blue Ribbon is what we use. So at this point, the demi-glace that we make is ají amarillo, green onion, oyster sauce, beef bones, and we make this demi-glace, and that makes all the difference with our lomo saltado. So we're gonna let that cook. We'll add our tomatoes. The reason why we add our tomatoes at the end is so that it can keep its form and not overcook. You want a fresh bite because, like I said, stir fry is all about quick cooking. It's fast and fresh. So at this point, what we want to do is add our fries, and that'll be our lomo saltado. So our fries are ready.
Okay.
And at this point, we want to toss our fries in that goodness and that sauce. And then we're going to plate it up. So once we're done, once we've plated up we use cilantro as a garnish. And there you go. That's our lomo saltado.
Now comes the fun part, tasting the delicious food.
But as soon as you take one bite, it's just the flavors pop up.
And later, we will learn the meaning behind the beautiful murals.
CAN TV is the lens through which Chicago's stories are told, harnessing the unifying power of community television. With CAN TV on demand, Immerse yourself in the richness of our city through exclusive stories and programs tailored just for you, connecting you to the heartbeats of our streets, the voices of our people, and the spirit that makes Chicago unique. Discover the strength of your community on CAN TV On Demand.
Peruvian food is known for its use of fresh, flavorful ingredients and traditional cooking methods. Some popular Peruvian dishes include ceviche, causa, papas a la huancaína, and lomo saltado, some of which I had the chance to sample at Peru Criollo.
Okay, Chef Diana, this is the fun part. We get to taste the fruits of your labor, and I'd like to start with the lomo saltado that you cooked for us in the kitchen.
Sure.
And as we're tasting, tell us again, the fusion in regards to what we're about to eat.
So lomo saltado is a chifa style stir fry.
Thank you.
Having
And chifa has its roots to Chinese food, right? To the
food.
Chinese community.
Yes, a Chinese community. Well, that fusion of immigration that came to Peru. But then what makes it a lomo? Well, the indigenous side when you add the potato. Let me get you a little rice.
Yeah.
And speaking of the rice, so yeah, what I noticed about Peruvians or the Peruvian culture in the food, potatoes is a staple.
Mainstay.
Yes, it is over 4,000 varieties of potato. So you have your stir fry, but once you add that potato, now it's Peruvian.
And you cooked it in a wok,
Yes.
which is typical of Asian cuisine
Yes.
in regards to making stir fry. All right.
Yes, it is. It is. Stir fry, quick. So you're making this dish, quicker than you would any stewed meat or anything like that.
And it's fantastic. I mean, one of my favorite dishes, like so many other Peruvians. But as soon as you take one bite, it's just the flavors pop up. The soy sauce, the onions, and of course the potatoes and the meat is just so delicious. This is what you cooked in the kitchen, but we also have another lomo saltado dish, and this one's a little bit different. Tell us about what we have here.
Sure. So this one is the lomo saltado, except now we omitted the French fries and we paired it up with a tallarín a la huancaína. And so the tallarín would be your carb to this dish. The huancaína sauce, again, we have that ají amarillo pepper, which is used in a lot of our dishes. It's a mild pepper. It's not too hot. But it is with queso fresco, red onion, garlic, and cream, and it's just absolutely to die for. Once you have a taste of that.
I've had huancaína with papa la huancaína, so I'm familiar with that, but I've never had it as part of a lomo saltado dish. So I'm going to just dig in to the huancaína fideos. And I've had also tallarines verdes con bistec. So this is the first time I'm ever trying this.
Oh, nice. I'm glad.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would never have thought of having huancaína with fideos, with pasta, but this is fantastic. Now, this is typical of Peruvian cuisine, or is this something that you thought of here?
This is typical Peruvian dishes that you would, if you went to Peru, you would see this dish there.
Wow.
Yes, it's amazing how you can have one main dish and convert it into other things and pair it up with other things. It's amazing.
That's worth a second. Right. Now, we've talked about you have Peruvian roots. Your father's Peruvian.
Yes.
I'm Peruvian. Both my parents are immigrants from Peru.
Yes.
But I got to talk to my mother because I've never had huancaína and fideos. What do we have here?
So this is the causa acevichada. So causas usually are the ají amarillo, again, that pepper, ají amarillo, lime juice, little cumin. it's a mashed potato. It's citrusy. It's fresh. But we've paired it up instead of a relleno of chicken or of shrimp or tuna. We've paired it up with a fresh ceviche. So this is another take on a causa that you can get in Peru and here at Peru Criollo. It's amazing because every flavor has a burst of like lime juice and spice and all these great things.
This looks wonderful too. And this is an appetizer, usually
It is an appetizer,
Okay,
yes.
great.
And it's shareable.
Yeah, everything is shareable. This
Yes.
is wonderful. Now, this is a dish I am familiar with, although I don't remember having it with ceviche on top. Again, a conversation that I will have with my mother for not introducing me to this. This already looks fantastic. Let's take a taste.
Yeah, we paired it up as well with a salsa cevichada, which is like a mayo, but it's more on the lemon and ají amarillo flavor profile. So it's not your typical mayo, but it is really great with anything seafood.
And I used to tell my friends that ceviche is Peruvian sushi because it's raw fish with a little bit of lime and but very flavorful, and it complements very well whether you're having it as we're having it with causa and potato, or if you're having it alone. Speaking of seafood, we are going to this plate next, right? Great.
Absolutely.
And what do we have here? I see some shrimp. I think this is cangrejo.
Yeah, so that's a colossal shrimp, and it's a whole shrimp. So it's almost like a little lobster. So arroz con mariscos is that fisherman's dish. We have another fisherman's dish coming up, but this is that coastal in Lima where you're using again those flavors. Ají amarillo is so important. You're using wine and you're using these things to have a good reduction of a sauce.
This looks fantastic.
And that's with Parmesan cheese. The things that you don't think that would go together do go together so beautifully.
Okay. And rice, which is a staple of many Latino dishes, but the rice does absorb a lot of that stock that you talked about. So it really goes well when you're having a piece of shrimp, and then you have the rice and really have a forkful of flavor in every bite. Our last dish, which again, we're talking about seafood. What do we have here?
So this is called pescado a lo macho, and it is again a fisherman's dish where it's hearty. We paired it up with a Pacific cod, and we have almost like a stew, a seafood stew on top of a lightly fried cod, a Pacific cod. And this dish has all of these flavors like tomatoes and ají amarillo. It has wine and beer. I mean, when you're a fisherman, you have these things on board. You have your seafood and you have your wine, and those things combined is a really good hearty dish.
This is a favorite of my father and my mother, but I remember often going to Peruvian restaurants, and this is my dad's go-to dish.
Yes. Yes.
As you said, very hearty.
Yeah.
You could taste the wine and the sauce, and you really have to combine it with rice or potato because you want either the potato or the rice to absorb some of that.
Absolutely.
And some of that sauce. Wonderful.
Yes.
Now, you were very deliberate in choosing what we were eating today, from lomo saltado to huancaína, fideo huancaína. Tell us why, of all of the robust dishes that you present here at Peru Criollo, why these?
These are my favorites, and particularly because they all have one thing in common, and it's that ají amarillo. And that's what differentiates us with any other, perhaps any other culture, is that this pepper just brings all of these dishes come to life. So it's an amazing thing. These are my favorite dishes. I love them.
We also have some drinks.
Absolutely.
Tell us about what we have. I think that's chicha morada.
So chicha morada is the purple corn, which is really high in antioxidants. We pair that up with apple, cinnamon, cloves. We do have other things that we put in there, but then I don't want to give out our secret. No. But typically it is those fruits, cinnamon, cloves, purple corn, and we boil this for a good 2 hours, so it extracts all of that goodness, and it is so good for you. Anything with color is really good for you. So yeah, this is a typical drink in Peru. Chicha morada. They have other drinks that are a staple, but this one in particular is, you gotta have it with all your Peruvian dishes.
It's been a pleasure to get to know you and get to know Peru Criollo. Thank you so much for letting us come into your home and spend some time with you.
Thank you.
Salud.
Salud.
Delicious.
Yeah, the ceviche is amazing, but really you can't go wrong. We just had tamales, we had jalea, and I like caucao, which is the tripe stew, and they have it on the menu, and not many of the Peruvian restaurants have that.
And visual art depicting people, culture, and history.
Tell us a little bit about choosing Tumi to be representative of all of the different pictures of Peru.
So to me, it screams Peru, right? It's the ceremonial knife, and it is just something you always see when you when you think of Peru. Is this ceremonial knife?
For more than 40 years, CAN TV has been Chicago's voice, your voice. We've shared your stories, amplified your concerns, and celebrated your triumphs. Now we want to hear from you. What programs matter most? What issues should we cover? How can we better serve your community? Visit cantv.org/feedback today. CAN TV. Experience the power of community television.
Well, I come here because number one, the food is very, very well prepared. They take a lot of pride in putting this stuff together and getting good quality products.
As soon as you walk in, after you smell the wonderful Peruvian food that's being cooked at the kitchen, for these wonderful murals that we see that depict different culture and art of Peru. Tell us about the ambience of this particular restaurant.
Well, I'm from Peru, so I've seen this at home in Peru, and so it's very true to the atmosphere. I mean, here for the atmosphere.
One of the things that's striking about as soon as you enter Peru Criollo, is that the walls are filled with murals, pictures that are representative of Peru. I want to talk to you about that. Let's start with what we're seeing right here. Tell us about what we're seeing, and tell us about the artist.
Great. So this is a representation of música criolla, which is
La marinera, of course, of what we're seeing.
Absolutely. And music, dancing goes along with food and dining in, or excuse me, food and togetherness. We chose to showcase this because it does represent Peru. And my brother, luckily, was able to paint this, and it's spray paint art. He is a famous graffiti artist, and we were very fortunate for him to be able to be part of our space here.
It's a beautiful mural, and absolutely just the colors pop out. We of course see the red and the white that are part of the Peruvian flag. A couple of other pieces that I noticed. Let's first talk about the tumi, which is that symbolic gold symbol, the knife that's so synonymous with Peru. Tell us about choosing that particular piece.
I chose that piece because it is symbolic of Peru. It is, you go anywhere, anything Peru, you will see a tumi, and it's the ceremonial knife, and it just represents Peru.
Yeah. The other thing, the other images that I've enjoyed watching have been the geoglyphs from the Nazca lines. I think you have here the monkey, certainly the hummingbird, and I believe maybe the eagle. Tell us about that.
We have, yes, the hummingbird, the monkey, and we also have the condor. So those stood out for us because they all each tell a story. But to me, I felt that, those to me stood out. They represent Peru Criollo, and that's why we chose those.
Yeah, and I think the condor, which is the national symbol of Peru,
Correct.
And so it's so really great to see it represented. And then finally, we see an indigenous person playing the pan flute. And as you've mentioned with the marinera, music is certainly part of the Peruvian culture. Tell us about that.
So, there are different parts of Peru with different, similar but different cultures, right, within Peru. Of course, we have the marinera, the música criolla. We also have, the indigenous, from the Andes, where they do flute playing and things of that nature. So we want to showcase that Peru is just not one. It's many things that combine such a great country.
Yeah, and you've said it over and over again when we've talked about food. It's a fusion 500 years in the making. And so it's food, it's music, it's a lot of history, rich history. And one of the wonderful things that I enjoy about Peru Criollo is walking into a place that is automatically familiar to me, from the smell of the food that's cooking in the kitchen to the beautiful, wonderful murals that include llamas, which is another animal that is synonymous with Peru.
Realizing a long-time dream is no easy task, but Chef Oxa says the key ingredient in bringing a vision to life is putting in the work and collaboration.
For me, to be where I am right now, it took a lot of discipline. It took a lot of planning and a lot of elbow sweat and a lot of concentrating and a lot of, strength. It took a lot to do this. The ability to have control of a dream, or much like paper and pen or paper and paintbrush, you have a blank canvas and you're able to draw whatever it is you want and it comes to life. So it's kind of like that. It's a dream that we have, and it's a collaboration where we, brought this dream to life.
Chingpung Callao. Visiting Peru Criollo was a treat for me, as I am Peruvian American, the proud son of immigrants. Thank you for joining me on this edition of Sazón de Illinois, where we sample the stories, culture, and cuisine that give our neighborhoods their flavor. I'm Hugo Balta. Hasta la próxima.